the way to the max.
We
Turned up by the way to the max.
We turned up, yeah.
Turned up by the way to the max.
We turned up, yeah.
Turned up by the way to the max.
We turned up, yeah.
Turned up by the way to the max.
Ay.
This shit slap, this shit black.
shit
Tell the
black,
DJ, won't you bring that back?
Bring
Turn
that
this
back.
motherfucker up, had the whole club spank.
Let me begin by introducing myself and telling you a little bit about my background. My name is Jason Thomas. I'll be 48 years old this year. Whew. Real quick, at the age of 17, I was arrested for, I was in a gang. I was arrested for gang-related homicide. When I turned 18, they released me because they couldn't try me as an adult. So at 18, they released me, refiled on me. I went back to jail, fought my case for 3 years. I was found guilty. In the midst of that, I fought the death penalty and all that, because that's why they released me, because they wanted to try to, give me the death penalty. I beat that, but I got found guilty. I was sentenced to 65 years of life. Went to prison. I was in there. I was a knucklehead, so I was still in there fucking up, doing what I do. Light came on about 26 years old. Started to get my shit together, get my act together, and take accountability for my actions. Long story short.
How long were you in at that time? How long were you in? No, it ain't got to be short. How long were you in at that time at 26?
Well, at 26, I got rearrested at 18, so about 8 years.
Do the math.
Okay. No, because he said he got time as an adult. I didn't know he went back in or whatever.
Yeah, I was arrested as a minor, and they couldn't try me as an adult, couldn't give me the death penalty, anything, because that's California law.
Mm-hmm. So,
I would go to court and talk shit. Like, I'd be out when I'm 25, fuck y'all, all this, to the judge and everything, you know what I mean? So, little did I know, they had a trick up their sleeve. So they dropped all charges, and at 18, and I was coming out the county jail, the detectives were right there waiting on me and refiled on me.
Damn.
So
That's messed up.
So I was sentenced to 65 years of life. Was in there messing up, gang activity in prison. Got into an altercation with a rival gang, my homeboys, and my homeboys got killed. I got stabbed up, got another charge filed on me and whatnot. Things were real fucked up in there for me, So about the age of 26, 28, somewhere up in there, started getting, the light came on, I started getting my shit together. Went back to school, ended up getting 3 degrees while I was in there. And eventually went to board, and they released me. They found me suitable for parole. And I say about the 110th day, because it's a 150-day waiting period. 120 for the review board, and then another 30 days the governor reviews it to see if he has the final say if they're going to let you go. So about 110th day, the governor reversed it, took my date. So I'm right back to square one. Had to go through the process again. That was 2013. Went through the process again, got it back in 2015. And I was released September 9th, 2015, after serving 23 years. So basically went in at 17, got out, went back in at 18, got out at 42 years old. So the world was different. I don't know if you can imagine, going to sleep, the world is one way, and waking up, 20 odd years and the world is totally different. You know what I mean? That's how it was for me. So with that said, being the new man that I was, we had a thing at LA Trade Tech, where lifers, which is what we're called, the guys that have life sentences that are now out, we had monthly meetings at LA Trade Tech. This particular meeting, it was once a month meeting we had to go to, was mandatory for parole. Governor Brown was there. I'll pull up some video and send it to you when I get a chance. But I asked Governor Brown, I said, look, man, I fucked up my community, and I understand that. And I want to make a difference. I want to try to repair, fix, bring closure to what I destroyed. Is there any programs that I could join? Governor Brown is the type of governor that he talks. You know what I mean? He has always have a lot to say and has answers for everything. You know, but he was baffled. He was looking around. He didn't know what to say. He didn't know any programs. So long story short, this guy by the name of Scott Budnick approached me. I don't know who he was. Gave me his card. It was he has this nonprofit organization called ARC, which stands for Anti-Recidivism Coalition. And I was like, all right. He's like, come to my office on Monday. I'm like, all right, I'll be there, man. You know. So Scott Budnick is a Hollywood producer. He produced Hangover 1, 2, and 3, War Dogs, Road Trip, a bunch of other movies. And you can pull him up and see all the work he's done. A lot of these laws that are changing in California is because of him and his nonprofit. So I went up there, ended up talking to him, ended up becoming a member. There's other members that are famous members like John Legend and his wife are members. The late Kobe Bryant was a member. Tobey Maguire is a member. There's a lot of different members, famous people that are members of this organization. So with Scott, what I would do, and me and other guys and women like me, we would go up to Sacramento and talk to the governor, talk to the legislature, California legislation, the senators, and lobby getting certain laws passed that will give incarcerated men and women a second chance to get out and be productive members of society. And we've gotten AB 260 passed, 261, SB 9, you know, bunch of different laws that got passed in California that are giving people a second chance to become incarcerated. So with that there, you know, that's a portion of what I do. I've been up to Sacramento and helped certain officials get elected. I did a introductory speech for one guy named Rusty Hicks. He was running for California Democratic chair. So I went there, spoke in front of 5,000 people, and you know that was basically the deciding factor of him getting elected to that governmental seat. You know, so done work with.
So let me ask you, how's you coming from? Like, as you look at 48 and you look back on your life, so now, like, what can you say you've learned, and what have you felt? Do you feel like you found your purpose?
I found my calling. I found my purpose. I genuinely like helping people, you know, and making a difference. You know, right now, my trade, I'm a operating engineer. So operating engineer is someone that basically operates all the heavy equipment on a construction site, from the cranes to the bulldozers, backhoes, and whatever. You know, I worked on the LA.
I said, you making that bank bank.
Yeah, you know, I make $100,000 a year now. You know, after I got out at 15, I became an engineer officially in 17. So about a year and a half, you know, making 100,000. You know, I hit the ground running, man. I wasn't waiting on nothing. You know, so
the degrees you got in while you were inside, did those like help you get that job or no?
I don't even use those degrees.
What did you get
but I got them. I got the degrees for anticipation for being a business owner.
Okay.
Because it's in marketing, general business. You know what I mean? So that's what those are for. But as far as being an operating engineer, you don't need any experience.
Yeah.
It's just a mathematical entry exam. You got to score high, and they'll call you in, and they pay you as they train you.
How was you able to get a job? Because, you know, how was you able to get a job? You know, when people usually serve, they usually have it on their record or whatever. So how are you able to get?
That's a good question. Very good question. One thing I learned with the background checks, typically businesses only go from 7, max 9 years back. Me, my crime happened 23, 25 years ago, the time I was applying for applications. They're not looking back that far. So when I fill out applications, have you been incarcerated? I'm like, I put no. They say, have you been incarcerated in the last 7 years? No, I haven't.
Oh,
I was incarcerated the last 20 years.
I thought it was from the time you get out, but you're saying it's from the time you go in.
Exactly.
Oh.
So when they look, when they do the background check on me, nothing comes up. The only time something comes up if it's like a high security job, like at an airport or trains or whatever, where they have to do the live scan, then my stuff will pop up. You know, but just regular jobs like I have and everything else, nothing comes up. As far as they're concerned, I've never been incarcerated.
I'm glad you said that. That's important because I wanted to talk about like how a lot of men don't get it together in the system, and it's like, what do you say to that? Like the men who just stay stuck in that complacency or get worse. As to you, you just say, I'm making something out of myself.
Well, the key word is stuck. They're stuck. And they're stuck because they've accepted their fate and they accepted their life. And they've accepted it because they like it. They don't really see anything wrong with it. People typically change when they see wrong or a chance to do better, be better. That's when people typically make a change, no matter what it is in life. That's when people typically make a change at that time, or when they go rock or they fall to rock bottom. You know what I mean? That's when people
Or
make
they feel like or some hits them that there's a bigger purpose. Like Malcolm X, he served time and it hit him. So who would have thought he would have figured that out? So it's like, it seems like this is the mentality because it's like, yeah, you're in there, but it's like you don't have to be what you're in for. Like yourself, you was in there, but you was like, I'm gonna figure this shit out. I'm better than this, and it's like, like you're one in, it seems like you're one in a million, and it could be 1 in 1,000, 1 in 100, but it seems like you're 1 in a million that's been able to do this and progress as far as you have.
I'm gonna say 90%, 95% of my friends that are lifers, a lot of them are on my page. They're quiet, they're silent, you know what I mean? But because they're out there doing shit, you know what I mean? And a lot of them are successful. They're married, got a kid, started business. Mm-hmm. They're all doing good. 95% of them are doing good. I've maybe 3 of them went back to prison. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But something different. But went back to prison. But the rest of them are doing good.
I guess when you survive life, surviving life makes you look at life differently. Because if you're just doing 10 years, you go back in, but you survive life and you already had the mindset you might be in there for life and you get out. I guess it makes you appreciate life more. Like, it
does.
And are they in a certain age? Are they around the same age as you usually? Because okay. Because I was wondering, because a lot of my relatives, like I've had these conversations with them whenever they get out, they're like they have these big goals, big ambitions, and then they get frustrated because they're like, okay, I can't get a job, I can't get this, I want to do this, and that. I feel stuck, like we just mentioned. And then they end up turning back to what got them in there, because that's the best way to know how to make money a lot of the times. Yeah. And so that's why I asked if it was an age difference, because a lot of the times they're under 30, my relatives, when they come out. And so what advice do you have to young men who do kind of fall into kind of a cycle with this, with kind of going in, they have these big goals and ambitions, but they feel they're not confident that they have the skills to start that business they dream of? What advice do you have for them?
It's a lot. I wish I had wrote this down. I usually just give it off the top of my head. But it's first is seeing that change and knowing the change. Typically, we all that are incarcerated have big dreams and aspirations. So with those big dreams and aspirations, you want to write them down. I didn't really understand the significance of writing stuff down, but when you write it down, you subconsciously absorb it and you start working toward it. You know what I mean? So they need to write that down. It's got to be realistic goals. 2, they need a support system. A support system are people that have it, want it, but most of all want to see you with it. Those are what I call quality friends. You got to have that. Okay. Yeah. That's for anybody. You know what I mean? If you look at your contacts, how many of those do you have in your contacts? How many of those people that you can call? I'm not talking about people to give you money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that if you're feeling a certain way about something, especially if you've been firmly incarcerated, you feel like giving up, going back to your lifestyle. How many people in your contacts can you call that's going to talk you off that cliff? How many people in your contacts are going to say, hey, or just call you out the blue, like, hey, here's a job lead. Hey, here's how you can get get into this program over here. Here's how you can get a loan. Here's how you can get your credit better. You know what I mean? Those type of people that are giving you valuable information that you can build your life on top of and get where you need to be. How many of us have that in your contacts? That's something everybody needs to ask themselves. Because if you just got willy-nilly up in your contacts, that's useless. That's useless information. You know what I mean?
Well, most people hang with people that are not good for them anyway. You know, most people don't even know themselves to know what type of people they need in their circle.
Yeah, yeah, and that's very important because who's in your circle really depends on how peaceful your life and successful your life is going to be. It's about who you know and what you know, not what you have. You know what I mean? Because that's the keys to success: information and who you know. You know what I mean?
Well, what was that process like? Kind of, I know you mentioned around 26. That's when you kind of had that aha moment. What was that process like? Getting that click, you know, to say, "Hey, this is the change I want to make. I'm determined to make it. This is my decision." What was that?
What woke you up?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was the incident. That was the incident where my homeboy got killed and I got stabbed up. And it was crazy because at that time, let me see, I think he was like 25 and I was like 23, 24. I think I was like, no. I was like 26. Because we used to play basketball a lot together. We're from the same neighborhood, whatever. He was like 6'5". You know what I mean? Like Chris Brown. You might be Chris Brown being 6'5" with hella basketball skills. You know what I mean? So
Reezy can play.
He was my boy. And what's crazy, he got killed and I got stabbed and a couple other my homies got stabbed over some stuff that happened in 1983.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's how prison is with the prison politics, especially level 4 maximum security. There's beefs and stuff going around from 1978, 79. Here you are, it's 2000, 1995, 97, and you get caught up in that. You know what I mean? That's how it is. It happens that fast. You know what I mean? And, you don't really see it coming. You know what I mean? Or you see it coming, but you can't do nothing about it. You just got to handle your business. You know
okay, so that was
I got stabbed in the arm. It came through, you know what I mean? He's trying to stab me in my neck, but, my friend died. He died. You know what I'm saying? He got stabbed in the heart and died. He didn't even know what the hell was going on. I was trying to explain to him what happened because I just got out the hole, like what happened. You know what I mean? And that's when it came, So that was my aha moment. And I sat there in the hole for like a year, for a year, thinking about everything, like thinking about who I am, what I'm capable of, my intelligent level compared to everybody else. And I'm like, the fuck am I doing? I could have done this, could have done that, could have seen this, could have been here, done that. You know what I mean? So, because when I got arrested, I was playing football. I was on a scholarship. I was gangbanged, but I was on a football scholarship, man. I was in papers and shit, so I fucked that all off, So that was my aha moment. I'm like, man, I gotta. And my daughter at that time was like 10 years old. I left when she was 20 months. You know what I mean? I didn't get out until she was 24, 25. She's 29 now. You know what I mean?
What's that been like rebuilding that relationship with your daughter once you got out? What's that process been like?
We had our ups and downs. We had our ups and downs. We had our downs where we didn't talk for like a year or two. You know what I mean? So, but right now at this point, since last year, we're like good. You know what I mean? Because we, I think you've seen it, James, where me and her were skydiving. And
I see you post. You don't post for much, and I understand why. But it's good. It's good to see that. Because not having you in her life, whatever reason it is, that's going to hurt a woman. She's in her 20s, so it's probably a lot of pain and stuff she probably had to.
It was, and I didn't understand that. It was, and I didn't understand that because, like, when I told her, I have a kid on the way, she was like mad. I'm like, you tripping on? But what I didn't understand was my son was going to get the time with me that she didn't. And she wasn't feeling that, but she's good now. You know what I mean? That's her little boy, her little brother.
But you had to understand that you was young and you made mistakes, and you wasn't not trying to be in her life. You just your mistakes came back on you, and I guess she had to understand that as well. And she's at an age where she's mature enough to understand that, hurt or not, and be forgiven, and things like that. Speaking of your newborn, little Jay Jr. and stuff. How is that I won't say new, but kind of like it's like a new father because you getting to see your son grow up and stuff. How's that being how's daddy life with that, and what struggles have it, if there's any struggles with everything?
That's great. But let me finish her question about.
Go ahead.
About the but yeah, you want to have friends, that are going to help you, get to where you need to be. When you're out, you need to surround yourself with like-minded individuals as well that are trying to goal obtain. That way you guys can network together. You also want to try to find any and all programs for people that are recently formerly incarcerated. There's a lot. There's so many funding and classes and this and money. They'll just throw at you because you're getting off your feet and they don't want you to go back in. You know what I mean? So it's about, and like I said, ARC is a big help with that, because basically what they do is help formerly incarcerated people reintegrate back into society with jobs and funding and housing and everything. You know what I mean? So like they have a class where they'll teach you how to code. You know what I mean?
Is that just a California program, or is that
California?
Is that
Yeah.
okay.
It's just California for now. Northern California, like Sacramento, Southern California here, and then down like San Bernardino. So that's basically where they're at for now.
It'd be nice if they had that all over.
Yeah. They're trying to expand, but again, it's funding and logistics and getting people that's really going to be about helping the formerly incarcerated. You know what I mean? So, Kim Kardashian, she's a member too. So
really,
the Rams are a member. The Clippers are a member. So there's a lot of help. I worked on the Rams stadium. I helped build that. I helped build the Crenshaw Metro line here. Right now, I'm building a 9-mile extension to the Gold Line in Pomona. And I worked on some big projects, so it can be done. There's really, honestly, there's no excuse. If you get out, you want it, you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, when guys get to that point where they're frustrated, we typically revert back to what we know and what we were comfortable with.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's what that is. So that's why you got to surround yourself by people that want to see you with it. You know what I mean? That's very
kind
key.
of push you
for guys.
in the right direction.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Because there's times when I got out, I wanted to go back to what I was doing because I didn't got mad at somebody and I'm finna go do something to somebody, or I'm like, let me go and sell these drugs over here or do this and do that. And I'm like, I have people like, no. 2-3 people, no, don't do that. Don't know. You know what I mean? So
all need that support system.
Keep you grounded.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you got the wrong people. They're gonna tell you, go do that.
Yeah, go out here and get it. Well, what if okay, so before you find that group of people, as far as within yourself, is that just a matter of I know you said writing visions down and stuff, but what other things for internally can they do before they find that program, before they find that core group of people?
I can't speak for other prisons in other states because I don't know how it goes, but in California, there's a lot of what's called self-help programs. You got Criminal Gang Anonymous, AA, NA. They have Alternative to Violence, conflict resolution. So I got certifications in all these courses where I can actually teach them now. So it gave me an opportunity to see things from a different angle.
Right.
Taught me how to use my words before I use my physical or violence, or as an alternative. It taught me how to identify explosive situations and diffuse it before it gets there. You know what I mean? Because 9 times out of 10, conflict comes from needs and wants, and people not understanding how to achieve those needs and wants without running somebody else over to get it. You know what I mean? That's 90% of conflict. You know what I mean? That's what it rises from. You know what I mean? So once you learn how to achieve your needs and wants without fucking somebody over to get it, then you don't have no conflict in your life. Believe it or not. You can't control somebody coming in trying to rob you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things that you create in your life. That shit don't exist no more. So when people know me and see me, why is this motherfucker always smiling and laughing and happy and cracking jokes? Because I ain't got no conflict. Because I understand what to do to avoid all that shit. See it, avoid it, or if I can't avoid it, diffuse it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man.
Peace, man.
Absolutely. That's important.
Daddy life.
And
Daddy life.
Meditation too.
The younger you are to able to understand that and achieve that, the longer you enjoy your life, the better you enjoy your life, man. You know what I mean? It took me 4 hours in prison, a life sentence to learn it, but you know, you don't have to go to jail to learn it.